right from the
Yeah.
start.
Wow, we have to start breeding for this.
What's he pricing it at?
Hold on 1 second.
What's up? Like, I want to see it. I don't see it. Someone say what the kitty number is.
It's kitty number 512684.
Fuck.
Ernie. Hey, can you check its wild genes what it has?
I can't look at it.
It's wild one. It's wild one. It's not it.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently.
So what's the gene that made it? Hot rod?
Price
Hot
it
rod.
high.
No, we don't know
He's
it's
gonna
hot
be-
rod. We don't know it's hot rod yet.
Yeah. What other genes does it have then?
All
on
right,
the other
it
cat?
has Berman, Orange
Coral
Soda, Hot Rod, Chocolate, Grim, Coral Sunrise, Crazy, Bell Blue, and Dracula.
Okay, so wait. So the ones we know for sure: Berman, Orange Soda, Grim. The only ones that it could be is Chocolate, Hot Rod, Coral Sunrise, Bell Blue, and Crazy. It's not wild.
What is the wild gene?
Wild one. It's Dracula.
No, it's hot rod.
Dracula's.
It's got to be hot rod.
Hot rod? Oh my god. This
Yo,
guy.
someone get ready to buy it if he puts it up for one.
I don't think he's gonna make that mistake again.
Tell him to price it really
How did he know hot rod? What the heck?
Sad about this hit.
It has
Dude,
to
that's
be
what I'm
hot
saying.
rod.
Like, I don't understand how he did that with the
Lucky.
Or Berman.
All
Not
right.
even Grim.
Yeah, it has Grim.
All right, we're going live right now. So everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Jordan, otherwise known as Poopie, one of the guys that built Kittycash. And I'm joined here today with Witty Kitty, JiHoz, Chuck, and Lucy. We have a lot of exciting news for you today. A lot of stuff has just happened in CryptoKitties that you might not be aware of. We're going to talk about fancies. We're going to talk about the market picking up. And the first thing we're going to talk about is this cat right here, the golden kitty that has just been hit by Meowcurity at Generation 6. We are in shock as much as everybody else is. And we're going to pull up the genes right now to see what is the recipe for this cat. So the cat that Curity just bred has Berman, Orange Soda, Hot Rod, Chocolate, Bell Blue, Crazy, Coral Sunrise, Grim, Dracula. And if you look at the parents, it looks like this was an intentional breed. Because we see the Hot Rod was being bred with the Orange Soda Berman. What are your thoughts on this, guys?
Well, I think it was an amazing hit. That it could have been Hot Rod that we've been missing.
Mm-hmm.
For days. I've flown a lot of ether. And I'm really impressed with this hit.
Yeah, one thing I
you look at
noticed
the
is
Hot Rod?
sure. Let me look at the Hot Rod genes.
Yeah, I'm talking to the guy who hit it now. We're actually friends because I bought the first Nagato. He also hit the first Nagato and the first Momo, and he also now hit the first Ernie, I guess. So
Oh my goodness.
I know him. He's like a really good guy. I'm not sure. Like, I have no idea how he, like how this happened. Like, I think he is a really smart person. From my experiences with him, and
Yeah.
I don't know, but this is pretty crazy. I think we're all in a good position potentially, though. And yeah, my first impression is that it's probably Hot Rod.
Okay, so he had a clue that or he figured out something that nobody else figured out, because what drives somebody to breed an Ernie breeder that everybody else was breeding with a crazy say cheese gray hot rod? I don't. Yeah, congratulations, Security, though, for hitting it, man. That is awesome. Please let us know what you plan on doing with it if you're watching the stream.
Dude, I'm gonna send him the link and tell him to get in here. We can even have him on the call if you guys want to see what was going through his mind. I'm gonna talk to him and I'll keep you updated on that.
Okay, yeah. So I just saw our viewers shoot up right now. If you're just joining us right now, I'm Jordan, also known as Poopie, and we're talking about the golden kitty Ernie that was just hit right now.
It's really interesting. I wonder if it really is hot rod. People are buying hot rods right now. I'm watching the stream. I'm watching these buys come in.
Yeah, so I might have a lot of orange soda hot rods just waiting to go. I don't know. I'll have to see. One thing I noticed is the parents have chocolate. Do you think that's one of the genes?
Chocolate. Maybe. I don't know. You should check the market for it.
Just picked up a Grimm hot rod. I'm gonna give it a shot.
So I'm looking at the genes right now, and in that hint that you had, Chuck, where CryptoKitties responded to you a couple hours ago, they said that you listed 3 of the right genes, and it's a 4.
It wasn't me. It was Lucy.
Oh, okay, Lucy. What did CryptoKitties tell you in that tweet a couple hours ago?
Okay, so they did another tweet, which was like a hint 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
And in that hint, they pretty much told us that it was not gold.
Okay.
That the other 3 were probably correct, and that was the orange soda and the Grimm.
I see. Okay.
I have a lot of those breeders available at the moment, and I'm going to give this theory of a hot rod a shot.
Great.
No, I'll keep you updated.
I'm looking at the tweet right now where they said Ernie has 4 traits, and one of these is incorrect. The traits you listed were orange soda, Berman, gold, and Grimm. I'm going to look at the genes right now to figure that out. So we have orange soda.
No tweet.
What was that?
There's an additional tweet. I think Chuck said something like, and I said, no, it sounds like it's not gold. And then Bryce actually got on there and confirmed that I was right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me look for that. I'm just... It
was under where they had like the hint 3.5.
Yeah, it's definitely not gold because this cat has coral sunrise.
Time coral sunrise had been hit. Orange soda, Berman, Grimm, coral sunrise had already been hit.
Got it.
That's why we can eliminate that one.
And what about crazy? Can we eliminate crazy?
Eliminate crazy as well. The only eye colors that were not hit was baby puke and bubblegum.
Okay.
So that tells me it was not an eye color.
So what about chocolate? Are there any orange soda, Grimm, Berman chocolates on the market?
I will check the market right now.
Okay. Yeah, check it and let me know.
I think we have Meow Kitty and Stream in our chat right now.
Awesome. Yeah, so if you're just joining us right now, we just witnessed the first ever Ernie Golden Kitty fancy get hit, and that's a really bad term. But Meow Kitty is the person that bred it. And this is it right now, and we're all in shock because he managed to do it at generation 6. and we all have breeders, and we're trying to figure out what trait were we missing.
Again and again.
What was
The
that?
first Nagato. He bred the first Nagato, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, he was the first Nagato. He's the
Momo as
first
well?
Momo.
Is that
Yep.
correct? Okay, so he is on a really good streak right now.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
he's doing really well. I believe Edgar Moreno. He said hi in chat. That is him.
Wow, congrats.
Congrats, Edgar.
Yeah, definitely congrats. Hold on to this cat, man. List it for like 20 Ethereum or something.
A couple ethers. So therefore the market doesn't crash so fast that first week, which it will, you know.
Yeah.
But I would at
Nah, I
least
don't think it will.
I think
the reason the Stitches market crashed was the game was crashing during that time. Everyone told me that the Ninja market was gonna crash, and it's like 3 weeks later or something, and it's getting stronger, right? So I
Yeah.
think like a lot of people kind of made the assumption that because because Santa crashed, because Fuzzy crashed, that these would crash. But the thing is, the game was crashing during that time.
for early gens, because I've had a Momo on the market for like 4 days at 0.09, which is not a high price, but it is a high generation. It's a Gen 15.
Yeah.
gold.
I mean, I think the
the earlier generation prices hold, while the later ones kind of start to fade really quick.
yeah. I think that's kind of how the game works. But like, I think like the prices are like, I think someone might buy your Momo. It's just it might take some time. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I hope so, but you know what, Ernie.
So right now for KittyCalc, what we need to do before we add Ernie into our fancy database is we need to confirm the genes. And if Curity, if you're in the chat, can you please give us some insight on why you chose Hot Rod? We'd really appreciate it, and to be able to share it with the viewers.
Is he Meow, Kirti, are you there, bro? Why did you choose Hot Rod? He said that I think he told me he just bred for orange. He just like mass bred for orange soda, Beerman, Grim.
Okay.
And I don't know if he was necessarily aiming to add in Hot Rod.
Interesting.
He said, I just bred 4 kitties with Grim, orange soda, and Beerman. That was it. I was like, how did you know? You're famous, bro. Come on stream. He's like, oh, I don't know. I just bred with 4 kitties with Grim, orange soda, and Beerman. So.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so congrats. And going back to the fancy chase now, I guess we're just going to wait for a second kitty to be bred so we can match up the genes.
So, just wondering, did we go back and just look at his Hot Rod? Read it with? Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, looking at that Hot Rod, it has no other, not that are dominant anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't have any recessive other than Grim.
It doesn't have Beerman, and it doesn't have Grim. It's literally just a Hot Rod.
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
Yeah, I don't think he was. That's true.
That's literally a 1 out of 4 hit.
Yeah, it is a 1 out of 4. Let me see. It looks like he was trying to breed Coral Sunrise in it, because this Hot Rod has a recessive Coral Sunrise and a recessive Grim. What was that?
Coral Sunrise had already been hit with the Grim and the orange soda and the Beerman.
Oh wow. Was it hit recently or a couple hours ago?
Had been hit for a while.
Interesting.
Out of the 4 trait mix, so that's not the 4th trait.
Yeah, okay. Gosh.
1 out of 4, there's only 1 trait on that Hot Rod that hit.
So
my guess is it's the Hot Rod.
Yeah, it is. I think it is too. So does this mean we panic buy orange soda Hot Rods and we breed as many as we can?
If there's a bunch, I would say yes. I got my Hot Rod resting for an hour right now, and be coming out in less than 30 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So I will let you guys know if that hit works twice.
This is so, guys. This is really interesting if it actually is hot rod, right? Because a lot of that low gen henna has been diverted already to producing momos, right?
Yes.
So this is actually really cool. I think more founders are gonna start being bred because of this.
Yeah, why do you guys think it's hot rod? Carlini's in the chat asking. Is there any relation to hot rod and a gold statuette?
There's no relation. In fact, one of the tweets that CK put out today specifically said that if, like, we got to read the tweet, but it basically said that gold, that would be too obvious.
Yeah.
Their own way, that's what they said.
Yeah, but how do you get hot rod from that tweet? Or any other tweet?
I think the last one was not announced. They were just telling us it's not gold. So keep trying with the other three.
Yeah.
And then at that point, like for me, I was going for Trioculus, but it ended up being hot rod. So basically, you could go on different branches, and whoever hits first on their clue on what they think.
Got it.
But they never gave, I feel, from all the hints, any hint that it was hot rod. And they were probably about to announce it later this week if no one hit it yet, or somehow.
I see.
It's interesting. So basically the mouth is starstruck, right? But it didn't end up being starstruck, or right? Yeah, or yokel or whatever. Yeah.
Add a Google Doc that one of the people that had watched our show before, I guess, had found me and direct messaged me in Discord. And he had knocked out everything that it wasn't. And this was about like a couple hours ago.
Okay.
And the only thing that had not been hit was Tiger Punk, Henna, and Hot Rod.
Wow. That's
Henna was used for the last fancy.
Mm-hmm.
It's only been Tiger Punk or Hot Rod.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
It was 100% Hot Rod. And I will check my theory in like 25 minutes.
Yeah, because it doesn't have henna or tiger punk, and if those are the only three traits left to be hit, then that makes sense.
Wait, what was that? That every other trait had been used in a fancy already, or something like that?
The orange soda, Berman, and Grimm.
Oh, okay, I see.
So
yeah, guys, this is really interesting. I need to figure out what to do right now. So I don't know if you guys know, but I kind of sat out the fancy chase, but as soon as we found out Grimm today, I spam bought 3 orange soda Grimm beer mons, all Gen 3 for like 0.02, 0.02, and 0.03. And it looks like the Gen 4s of those are selling for like 0.1 right now or something. So yes, I don't know what to do. Should I just flip these, or should I try and breed my own Gen? So I just need a Gen 3 hot rod, I guess, and I can make a Gen 4 one.
I'm gonna absolutely breed it out.
Yeah, I would try to get at least one of them, and then sell your materials if you have them, or sell your materials right now if you don't really plan on focusing on that fancy.
Yeah. I need a Gen 3 hot rod, I guess.
Good luck with that.
Well,
how much are they? What do they start at? Let's find out.
Oh, I can make one too, because I have a Gen 2 henna. I think I have a couple of Gen 2
What's the cooldown on your Gen 2 henna?
It's catatonic.
Yeah, there are no Gen 3 hot rods on the market.
I can sell you guys some.
Oh.
I have like 5.
Ooh.
Let me see.
What do you think the market price is for this?
Well, it just went up.
All right, so Somnolence just has some breaking news. Look at the chat. I guess another earning just came out.
Oh, please be mine.
So quick, I can't do it. I can't watch right now.
2.
Oh my goodness.
No,
check his genes.
Yeah, so we might have to make a correction here. Let's take a look and see. Oh,
one.
it is a hot rod. It is a coral sunrise.
It's a hot rod.
It is a Berman, orange soda, and Grim. And
yeah, it's probably hot rod. 2 in a row. It's too coincidental.
But what if it's coral sunrise too?
No, didn't someone say they already had seen it?
yeah, let's confirm that. Let's verify that right now.
Yeah, just check that on the search, and then that will for sure clear it up right now.
Yeah. No, there are 9 kitties with with all these traits.
So it looks like it's hot rod.
It's hot rod.
I mean, I really want it to be hot rod. I really do, because I want Henna's low gen to be worth more. And yeah, I just think that's interesting. Like I want more.
A Gen 2 Henna right now on the market for 1.2. If anyone's interested.
I need a Gen 2 Tiger Punk, I guess now.
So, question: do you want to check the recessives on that first hot rod hit to see if maybe it had an orgrim in any of the recessive genes?
Yeah, let me look and see.
Interesting to see if it actually had any recessives.
Wow, I'm watching this. So many hot rods are selling right now.
I bet they're going quick.
Nice. Someone just bought that exact same combo on the Gen 0 that I bought earlier for 0.35. They just bought that for 0.37.
The only gene this has is hot rod, so they hit it with a 1 out of 4.
Impressed. That's all I have to say.
This is kind of crazy. Are there any orange soda hot rods Gen 3 that we have access to?
I'm breeding mine
up. Okay, Beerman hot rod.
I have a. Actually, yeah, no. I don't think it matters if you breed a 3 out of 4 at a low gen or a higher gen, as long as you know what I mean. If you're going for a Gen 5 and you breed Gen 3 out of 5s, but you're not using hot rod and you use it at Gen 4 instead, I think that's okay. You know what I mean? If it'll save you money in the long run, but you're still using 3 out of 4s.
Yeah.
For hot rods right now, the cheapest hot rod at Gen 4 starts at 0.13.
Wow, it went up. It was 0.1 like 5 minutes ago.
So they're wiping out the first 4 gens.
All right, let me go delist all my hot rods. You guys aren't getting my cats. Sorry.
Race for Ernie's.
Nice. So Woody Kitty is in probably the best position right now because he has the Gen 3 out of 4s, and he has Gen 3 hot rod. He's probably the only person in the game with those. So GG.
GG.
Doesn't Kitty International have some of those young gen hot rods?
Yeah. Kitty International has a lot of low gen hot rods.
Does he have Gen 3s though?
I don't think he has Gen 3s. Let me look it up. No, I'm pretty confident he doesn't have Gen 3.
I have a theory for you guys, and you guys might not like this theory.
What is it?
I've always wondered, you know how you guys are so surprised by how lucky these breeds are that are happening?
Okay.
My theory was always that the first one that actually has the genes present probably gets a higher roll than all the other chances that CK usually gives. I'm not sure if there's any truth to that, but these are looking really, really lucky. I mean, on one trait you get it, when usually you're using 3 or 4 and 2 of 3 or 2 of 4 and it doesn't even hit. But I've always wondered if the first one that actually has all the dominant genes in it gets a little bit of a boost or something,
like a double. Because
would that be possible?
I have no idea.
Well, let's do this. Let's calculate the odds of the first Ernie being hit, and let's calculate the odds of the second.
Yeah.
And let's see what the probability is for 2 of them to get hit in such a short time span.
Because it just seems so lucky. Like I've been trying to get one gene to hit with the 3 out of 4. I was trying to get the Trioculus, and it won't hit no matter what, even though I'm using a pair that should give it a higher chance.
Hmm.
And this guy hits
Yeah.
it with just 1 3 out of 4 and 1 out of
Yeah,
4.
but
I
we
mean,
don't know who else was trying for this with this exact combination too.
I was looking at the market at the moment. I noticed he was doing the hot rod thing, but there was no way I was gonna go there and test out his theory when I was trying out mine at the same
How
time.
long was he trying for the hot rod?
He would had started pretty early. Like I would say he was at it a release 2.5 hours ago, from what I remember.
All right, so the first one is a 2.3% chance, so it's not. It's still doable. I mean, JiHoz, when you bred your Gen 7 Momo today, that was
I've made 2.
Wait.
So Chuck's theory could potentially be true because like I was the, you know what I'm saying? Like I was the first person, I guess, to try for Gen 7 Momo with, I don't know. So maybe that's why I had boosted chances. This also happened when I went for Gen 4 Nagato, right? Like I got it in 5 tries. The person who hit it right before me got it in like 2 tries. So there could be validity to this theory. I don't know. But isn't that kind of like how Bitcoin is mined too? It's like it gets more difficult with each progressive like attempt, right?
Oh.
So
I'm not.
it's kind of like mining, right? Like that could actually make sense.
Did,
And
did,
then it would actually validate like the race to, like the first person who gets there like should have an advantage, right?
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Are these two Momos siblings?
Yeah, they are.
Eh,
I can't breed them.
Did you hit them back to back?
Let me see. If you check my page, I hit them 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Nah, because I bought that Gen 0. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I hit 2 Gen 7 Momos and 5 breeds.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Are you kind of sad that you hit the second one, or are you going to try to go for a Gen 6 now?
Yeah, I need to hit a Gen 6. I want to hit a Gen 5 eventually. Remember, yeah. We'll see what happens, but I actually sold one of the parents to someone who I know who collects. Like that's also something I do, guys. Is like when I sell something, especially something that could, you know, create something that will rival me in a market. I won't sell unless I know the person, and I won't sell it unless I know they're like a collector rather than like a power breeder.
Yeah, because you don't want to destroy your own market. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, one of our viewers actually is a really cool guy. Um, and yeah, he was interested in one of the parents. So
Yeah, so
um,
Emily has a question. Where do you watch the sales live? Where there are two places to go. You could go to Kitty Sales, or you could go to Kitty Explorer.
Kitty Explorer is generally, I think it's pretty good for it. You can search, kind of sort by traits. And yeah, I kind of, a lot of what I do is just refresh that all day and kind of, to watch the market. And yeah, I think, it helps to just see that constant stream and you start to kind of get an implicit understanding of, what's happening in the market, I think. It's like basically the Bloomberg terminal of CryptoKitties. If you guys have ever used a Bloomberg terminal.
No, I haven't. So I have a question. Can I delete Ernie from our fancy chasing page or Google Doc?
Just keep it on there for a few days or for a day or two, so
Okay.
then people can see it and confirm that it is those traits, even though it's going to appear on every site pretty soon.
Yeah, so I updated our fancy chasing doc with with what I
Just say
found for
that
Maneki Neko, and I have some good
yeah,
luck charms in there too.
and put the ID or the link to the first one, so then people know it's already
Sure,
made. It's
sure,
a
I'll
done
do
deal.
that. I'll do that in a bit. Just to give you guys an idea of what I've been up to, I've been chasing the Maneki Neko or Lucky Cat Fancy, and I really think I'm close. I've narrowed it down to Calico, Cloud White, Wingtips, Bobtail, and I'm just trying a couple different traits with it. So if
So
you
what do
look,
you think? What do you think right now is like the trait that you need to add in?
I think it's a mouth trait, and I also think it might be gold eyes with the mouth trait.
Yeah, I think it's gold. I like bobtail. I like cloud white. I like wingtips. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
so Maneki Neko on Wikipedia, it's traditionally a calico Japanese bobtail. And if you were to do a search for Japanese bobtails, they all have an orangish, spotty calico pattern. And that color, I think, resembles apricot. So what I've been trying for right now is apricot, cloud white, bobtail, so serious mouth, and calico. I've hit it. I've hit it without the mouth. So my mission right now is to get the mouth in there, and let's see if I get the fancy.
Nice. Hey, I just realized. So Witty Kitty has a Gen 2 hot rod. Are you gonna use that to breed Ernie, bro?
Jeez.
Probably not. Not yet. Not until I see how much they're selling for, because I'd rather keep them all virgin for now.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
This is awesome though, 'cause, like we're now seeing kind of like the power of the founders, right? And we're actually starting to see. I think that's maybe an interesting segue into like another topic, right? Like, have you guys noticed that some founders are starting to move?
Like 93 being bred by Carlini.
Yeah, so Carlini, I believe, bought it for 20 ETH,
Oh my goodness. When did Carly buy it?
like about an hour ago.
Gosh.
And one of our viewers, I believe, Somnolence, also bought a founder last night. So yeah, it's interesting. Like we'll see, whether what the prices for these fancies are, and whether it kind of lures people into breeding some founders out, to get some low gen hot rods.
Yeah, do we have an ID for Somnolence's founder?
And which one did he buy? I can check.
So I'm looking at Carlini's hot rod right now, and Carlini wastes no time. 5 breeds in the last couple hours. One of them hit Jaguar, one of them hit Henna, and the rest are fails.
So can we see how many Ernies have been hit so far?
Yeah, let me take a look.
Yeah, Somnolence's founder is 95, by the way.
It looks like there's still only 2.
Okay, all right.
And the first one's up for sale for 15 Ethereum.
Which is great. Good pricing on that one.
I told him to put it at 15 to 20, so. Because like we don't.
I
He
wish
actually.
I had
Something I have just sold for 0.5 ETH.
Oh my goodness. What is the cat, Chuck?
I don't know. I'm trying to look for it. I'm hoping it's not my Jaguar that I'm. No, it was a Gen Zero that I was trying to flip.
Oh no way!
Yeah.
I have one sitting at 0.42.
Yeah, this one was kind of nice. I did exactly what you recommended. Try to find one that kind of looks aesthetically pleasing.
Yes.
And then flipping it. So I flipped it for double, pretty much.
What traits did it have?
Some advice there.
It had tiger. It had the little fangs, the webme, and it had Selkirk in the top and it's like a nice little.
Oh my goodness!
I'll show it to you.
Yeah, so
now you have your breeding ether.
Someone bought another thing too. What the heck? What's going on? Like I think is the cell wall going up right now? Because if it's both my Gen Zeros, that must mean that the cell wall just went.
Wow, Chuck, you hit the record, I think, for Gen Zero.
Nice.
For just like a regular kitty clock Gen Zero. That's pretty awesome.
I just said it and was gonna live or die by it. I sold another thing right now, but this one wasn't that expensive. It was
The
pretty
buyer
cheap.
seems to be Chinese.
Yeah, I saw that. See, they don't really know yet about what's valuable, so they're just buying up anything that looks aesthetically pleasing, I feel. That's the vibe I'm getting at the moment.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, but Gen Zeros could go up. The floor could be like 0.55 in the next 24 hours.
that's the problem I'm saying.
Yeah, let's go over Gen Zeros right now. So in the last day, I've seen it go up, I want to say, by 0.1.
Yeah, I'm like so happy right now that it, because missing this fancy hurt a lot.
That's good, I think. So the cheapest Gen Zero catatonic right now is 0.3. Gosh, it's been picking up. How do you guys feel about the Gen Zero market?
Guys, it's actually picked up. It's actually picked up a decent amount in the last 2 hours, I would say.
Oh, that's
Because
yeah.
I bought a WovMe bobtail tiger at 0.35, kind of like just I saw it and I was like, oh, those are the three traits I want. I'm gonna buy it at 0.35, and then after I bought it, I checked and it kind of actually looked like I could have maybe gotten it cheaper, but now like we have Gen Zeros selling at 0.57,
Yeah,
right? 0.57 for the last one, 0.5 for a WovMe Tiger, right? So I could probably flip the one that I bought for 0.35 and for 0.5 like right now maybe like
yeah,
with
you
in
should
two
try it
hours.
or you should save it for because I have a feeling that it's just gonna keep going up.
Yeah, I'm not trying to flip mine right now.
You
Like
just want to
I'm
see
gonna
how the
flip
market
mine.
plays out and then figure out what to do.
I'm gonna wait until the FOMO is at a maximum level where
Yeah.
I don't like we just have to ride the waves, guys, right? Like there are gonna be periods of FOMO and there are gonna be periods of depressed demand, right? And we're gonna fluctuate between those just like any normal market. And there are going to be people who panic buy at the top, and there are going to be people who panic sell at the lows. So you just want to, we want to kind of, understand where the sentiment of the crowd is at each time, and make sure that we're making kind of informed decisions based on that. So I don't know. I think I think this current hype cycle that we're entering we're in maybe like inning like 2.5 or something, I would say. But obviously, disclaimer, who knows? Prices could go down tomorrow. To something, anything can happen. But my impression of the market is that we're entering a new uptrend after a period of kind of depressed demand. So yeah, we'll see. It's super exciting. Obviously.
No, I've been looking at the sales too and looking at the Gen Zero market. And I even posted something on my Twitter today, and it's true. It's jumping like crazy. 0.08 like 1.5 weeks ago, and it's at point. I mean, one of them sold for 0.5 right now, and it's just going up right now. So
Wow.
I think I I don't know. I don't want to say that it's gonna go up higher like 1 ETH or something like that, but I am saying that we could see a return of a sales really soon in the next week or so because everyone's preparing for the launch. So if you have stuff priced really low right now, that's really rare, you might want to consider pulling it at the moment or just putting it at a price you're really comfortable selling it at.
Yeah, you
That's
might be
what I
so
do.
happy to sell it right now for 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, but the person buying it is anticipating what might happen in the next 48 hours because that in 48 hours that will be the China launch. So nobody knows how it's going to go, but my strategy personally is just to put everything on the market for a price I'd be comfortable to sell it at, like which is a very high price. And maybe not all of them will sell, maybe one of them will sell, but I don't want somebody like Chuck or Jeff or Lucy to buy my cats and then flip them.
Yeah. Guys, sorry, I don't want to like divert attention to myself again, but I just hit another Gen 7 Momo.
You just destroyed your own market, bro. Congrats.
Dude, I don't know why I'm getting such luck today. But yeah, I mean, no one else can make them reliably.
Well,
See what happens.
I'm gonna plug in your cats to Kittycash just to give our viewers like
Yeah, do you want to see? You want to see
the
like
odds.
the odds are really low.
All right, so I'm plugging in Jeff's Momos into Kittycash and or Jeff's Momo breeders, and it says he has a 4.4% chance to breed them.
So it should have really taken me about 75 breeds, right, to hit 3
Goodness.
with those pairs, but I hit 3 in like 7 breeds. So yeah, the streaming luck is real, guys.
Yeah, congrats. That's awesome. What are you planning to do with this one?
So we were just talking about, what to do with cats that are, super rare, and that we might not necessarily want to sell yet. So what I've been doing is I've just been siring them out. I've been siring out like all my ninjas. I've only sold one ninja, which was a Momo, and I've just been siring the rest out, and it's like pretty good income every day.
Awesome.
Sad to say that my hot rod did not hit Ernie.
Keep trying, Lucy. I'm going to your wallet right now.
So it was actually a 2 out of 4.
So you could either, just keep trying. If it's 2 out of 4, it's better than what most people have right now to try to make that. But if you want, you could make a breeder with a henna in it on the side if you have the ETH for it. That would make it your chances a lot better. So, but I think just keep trying. It's 2 out of 4. It's not that bad, in my opinion.
I'm still baffled by Hot Rod. What does Hot Rod have to do with a gold product hunt kitty statuette?
And that's pretty much was their point, was if you think it's gold, that's just too easy because it's a gold statue.
Maybe we could tweet them and
they try to throw you off.
Maybe we can tweet them and ask them for what the reasoning is, if there is any. Maybe they'll give us a reply, and that could help us with future fancy hunts, maybe. Because it's just so random, Hot Rod. I don't associate it with a trophy at all in any way.
Well, so hot rods. It's like kind of like a car, right? So cars win trophies. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I guess. If that's the logic, I guess. I was thinking it was Trioculus because of the little glasses thing he has, but
Oh gosh, we were trying so hard, man.
yeah, we were trying so hard. It just would not hit. It would not hit no matter what.
So if anyone's listening right now, we've been trying for the last 24 hours to hit Ernie. Everybody in our little streamer group has been contributing, and the most recent theory was Trioculus, Googly, Gold, Orange Soda, Berman, and Grim. I don't know what to think anymore. Like, I think I'm just gonna get all of my cats and breed them with anything. All of my 4 out of 5 breeders.
This brings a lot of fear into your the luck kitty you're trying to, what is it called?
Yeah, Maneki Neko.
So this brings me a lot of fear in that it's not just the traits that you can see on the cat that make it. It's just sometimes, like in this case, who would have guessed Hot Rod? I wouldn't have guessed Hot Rod in a million years.
Yeah, exactly.
It might not be what you're seeing exactly on there. It might have some random gene thrown in there just to throw everyone off and not make it easy to get or whatever.
So basically, all of these wingtip, bobtail, cloud white calicles that I've been breeding could be for nothing, and all I need to do is throw an elk, and I might get Maneki Neko.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just there's no logic to it.
Yeah, there's no logic to it. Maybe I should do that. I'm gonna go buy an elk calicle. And
yeah, I mean, I felt the same way about the Nagatos at first, right? Like, why is it wolf gray, right? Wolf gray doesn't, you know, like it's not even expressed. Like the Nagato is actually green. It actually is turtleback colored. And I was going for turtleback instead of wolf gray until they gave the final hint. So yeah, it's sometimes like, I don't know, like there's that one trait that just is kind of a wild card.
Yeah, I think another thing that we should point out. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, does anyone have an early gen hot rod for sale that's under 0.1 right now?
What generation are you looking for?
Swift.
Oh, no. That's generation 4, right? Or under? Yeah, that's a little hard.
Yeah, you would have to get an. Maybe I should make hennas with my Jaguar.
Guys, 2 Gen 0 just sold.
Oh my goodness. How
Two
much
of
did they
yours?
sell for?
They're wiping out everything under price. My last Gen 0 sits at 4.2 Ether.
They're just going up, huh? I'm happy that I took your advice yesterday and bought some Gen Zeros because it's going up.
You know what? You can continue to do that.
Guys, someone just bought a Gen 1 orange soda for 0.2.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Dude, the hype is real.
There are no orange sodas.
Oh my goodness, everybody, look at the recent sales right now. Oh no, I had hot rod selected. Sorry about that.
Hot rod going up.
But no, even in the last 20 minutes, the entire page is full of hot rods. So if you have any hot rods, now's the time to breed them and go ahead and dump them on the market. It seems like people just want one trait.
Yeah, guys, so Kitty Clock is starting at what, 0.55 right now?
Oh my goodness. I've never seen this kind of market.
Are you kidding? Oh, I've seen it only once. When I first started playing, the Kitty Clock was selling cats at 6 ETH, and that was near the end of like when it was dropping. So it makes me wonder really what's gonna happen because it's just I wasn't expecting it to hit 0.5 mark till maybe a little bit later this week, but right now it just hit. So I'm like, what's gonna happen right now? It's just so crazy.
It's a really interesting time. We're also at an inflection point for crypto, right? Like I was just talking to one of my friends where, you know, basically like he kind of confirmed that, you know, he's heard some rumors that, you know, this is kind of a coordinated price dump by a lot of the institutions who are trying to get in, right? Because basically the crypto market works differently than any other asset than in the history of mankind, right? Usually what happens is the smart money and the institutional investors get in and then they sell their stuff to the public after, you know, for much higher prices than they bought in. This is kind of taking an interesting kind of, I guess it's like the opposite of that scenario, right? It's like mostly kind of like, you know, developers and I don't know, so, you know, just a very certain type of person who were the early buyers, and now institutional money is kind of late to the party, and now they're kind of scrambling to get in. But the banks have control over, you know, the fiat system, which is still the portal to crypto, right? So theoretically, you know, they could have orchestrated this drop and, you know, maybe coordinated with, you know, a company like Coinbase to force a liquidity crunch, get people to panic sell, and then, you know, buy in at ETH 550 or whatever, 600 or whatever it hit. So yeah, I don't know. Like that's, you know, that's a theory, and I'm hearing people like, you know, friends who work in finance saying that yeah, they think that's actually what happens. So I don't know. It's an interesting point for crypto, and I think that will have a lot of interesting implications for the kitty market.
Can we go over? Yeah, thank you for sharing that, JiHoz. Can we go over A Kitty and what we think A Kitty is doing with 561 Gen 0 cats?
Personally, I think he's just storing them either to sell them soon in the Asia launch, maybe sell a few there, but
okay.
anyone playing this game who has Gen Zeros should be looking at November 2018 when all of the Gen Zeros will be gone. There will be none made anymore. Meaning, even if you do want a Gen Zero, you would have to buy it from someone. And at that point, the people could start setting the prices to whatever they want. They could say, whatever, as long as there's not going to be enough people to compete with them at that point. So I feel he's just waiting for November, is my view on it.
Yeah, and this is obviously a veteran player because he has CryptoKitties transactions dating back 57 days ago. But it seems like in the last couple days, A-Kitty has really sped up the buying.
Yeah, I mean that's it. I've actually kind of predicted this. Like back when, you know, remember do you guys remember when the OP Skins bot came in and bought like all the cheap kitties?
Yes.
I was like, what if one day someone just makes a Gen Zero bot, and some people were like, they wouldn't do that because that would just push up their own prices. But I don't know. We're starting to see that happen. And what we're also seeing is that the market cap of this game isn't actually that large, right? Like a couple of buyers can actually have a big influence on the game, right? So like right now we have maybe like 5 to 6 kind of new whales who are coming in and stirring up activity. Imagine if we have 50 new whales. Imagine if we have 100 new whales. You know how many Ethereum miners are in Japan and China, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
aren't most of the miners out there?
Yeah.
Like those are the people with those are the only people in those countries with a lot of ETH and access to it are miners, right?
And some of the Gen Zero owners, like they have profile names or cat names that link back to a Chinese mining company or Hong Kong mining company, actually.
Interesting. Oh yeah, you'd scrape that data. Huh?
Yeah. So those were the guys that were spending a lot of money back in December 16th, 10th. I wonder what that's going to look like in the next 48 hours.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, those guys are printing money, right? And like they've done even better, right? They've done even better than in December. You know, those guys are much richer than the last time this bubble started.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
I don't want to call it a bubble, but the last time we had a wave like this.
Yeah, so if you're looking at the chart right now, this is the point where OP Skins bought almost every cat under 0.006 on the market. It was December 20th. That spike over there is the Counter-Strike Go third-party skin marketplace, OP Skins, buying most of our cheap cats.
That's awesome. Are we answering everything? Okay. Yeah, guys. So see, look, there's still like we're still like, you know, there's still potentially a ways to go.
Oh my goodness. I hit the So Serious, Wingtips, Cali Cool, Cloud White, Bobtail.
Wow.
And there's no fancy, guys.
Yo, that's a beautiful cat. What gen is that? It's so cute.
It's so cute.
That's a fancy. Come on.
Oh my goodness. I need to put elk in here, I'm telling you. But I did set the elk breed. So who knows, that might be a fancy.
Not a fancy.
That is So Serious, right? I'm not yeah, that is So Serious.
There's always one trait that's like really random though that you can't see, like Wolf Gray or Hot Rod. So you have to just throw in something like, if you're gonna keep on doing this, I feel like you have to just try all like random traits, but that's gonna cost so much money.
Yeah. If anyone wants to know how much I've invested so far.
Oh god.
Oh god. I'm probably like at 1 Ethereum in the last 24 hours. Oh, Wicked Kitty just is coughing. When I went to All Kitties 24 hours ago, there were only 75 kitties here. And that's not in counting the kitties that I've sold. So yeah, fancy chasing, we talk about it a lot. Do it at your own risk. It's high risk, high reward, and I believe that fortune favors the bold. So I'm willing to take that risk. The only reason why I was doing this was because my friend Chuck Fresco came in one day and said, guys, oh my god, I figured out the fancy. Maneki Neko, the lucky cat. Look at Wikipedia. It says calico Japanese bobtail. And
I blame this all on my birthday because I like, you know, I was AFK / unconscious for a while, and then when I come back, you guys are like on this crazy mission.
yeah.
But yeah, I think it'll work out.
No, if you were here, you would have talked a little more sense into us. And now we're just like in too deep.
Well, honestly, when it like at least this helps people know that fancy hunting is very expensive and it's something you really have to think about if you're thinking of chasing these things. Because I blew a lot of ETH chasing this fancy and I didn't get it. So it's just one of those things that it definitely helps the community understand the reality of it. You're taking a high risk when you chase these things.
But I guess like my theory though is that if you go for a low gen one, so I guess like I can just talk about what I did with the Nagato market, right? Like I tried to hit the first Nagato, I missed it because I literally missed it. I missed having the first one because a 75% chance of henna didn't go through, right? And then yeah, so but then the Meow Curie, the same guy who bought the Ernie, he'd never hit a fancy before, I guess, and he put it up. The first Nagato family jewels. Although fancies don't have family jewels, they're apparently getting something different, which I'm really excited about. And he put up his first Nagato for 1.1 ETH or something, and I bought that, within a heartbeat. And after that, I kind of diverted my resources towards kind of getting a stranglehold on the low gen Nagato market, right? So I wanted the first, and I also wanted like the first low gens. So I think we could be set up well, because like I think the people who will make money from the fancies are the ones who make the first one, and the people who make the low gens and have a kind of a good hold on that market. So I think right now the move is to try and if you're still interested in going after Ernie, and if you have the mats, it probably makes sense.
Yeah.
So maybe go for some low gen ones.
No, I agree with you completely. And the only reason why I am trying to go for Maneki Neko so hard is because I really believe it's wingtips, cloud white, and I really don't care about all the other traits. If you look at wingtips cloud white on the market, the floor is at 0.1 under generation 10. Right now I own 23 of those kitties, and they're not on the market. So I've spent like 0.91 Ethereum, but I have almost every single Maneki Neko breeder, if it's what I think it is, in my wallet. So I'm happy, I'm satisfied. Somebody else can find it. I might be off by one trait, but if I'm right on like 2 or 3, then I'll make all my money back and then some, and I could just sire them out. So yeah, that's the reason why I went for Maneki Neko, because wingtips is a tier 3 mutation, and it's really hard to get. It's kind of like Hot Rod and Ernie. I mean, Gen 5 and 6 is a very safe generation to breed it at.
Hey guys, check out what the one of my kitties brought out right now. I put it on the thing.
Sure.
What the heck, man?
Oh, that's not good. I'm sorry.
But it did it with a recessive.
Wait.
I'm breeding Gen 2s without a recessive.
Wait, that's not bad. That's a Jaguar Gen 2.
Yeah.
From a recessive, dude. That's really good.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Chuck, can you link us to your very, very famous recessive Jaguar, and we could talk about it?
Yeah. Here, I'll post the link right there.
Okay.
Let me put it on the stream. Or can you guys put it on the stream?
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
literally a hacked recessive.
Yeah. This, you know, I started this game like a lot of people do, losing money and buying a really bad cat. But I made one investment in this game that completely changed how I played the game ever again, and it was when I bought this cat. Can you see it on the stream?
Yeah, just keep talking. I got you.
Yeah, basically the cat, it looks normal. It looks like any other cat you see on the stream. It's a Gen 1. It has a beard maybe, but honestly, what makes this cat so good is that it has a really strong recessive, an R1 recessive Jaguar. Because as you can see here, it's made from a Jaguar that missed, Jaguar number 47. But this thing has pretty much, I bought it and it's made so many Jaguar Gen 2s that you would regularly have to buy a really expensive Gen 1 Jaguar to make. And it's been getting hennas and all this stuff around and all of its children. And it's honestly, it shouldn't hit this often, a Jaguar like this, but it just does.
Oh my
And it's honestly my favorite cat. That's why I called it the one on the stream. Or so I called it the one after it hit like its fifth Jaguar.
God.
It's just ridiculous.
So you spent 0.77 Ethereum at the time, December
Mhm.
10th. How much was that?
That was a lot less. I believe the ETH was not jumping yet. It jumped in the middle of December, some of that. But that wasn't a lot then.
All right, so
And it
like
just
let's
has
don't worry about the conversion. How much did you get out of it? If you could just like ballpark the figure.
so far I would say 1.5 ETH at least. So that was just with the sales of I think 3 Jaguars at the time. But since then, I've made 3 more Jaguars and a henna that still haven't sold, but I'm totally expecting them to sell, when the Asia launch happens. So there's a lot of profit still to be made with this cat.
It's an awesome buy, man. I mean, I did the same
Right.
thing. I just couldn't hit on mine.
Yeah, I remember you bought one.
Yeah. I bred
as you
it
get,
13 times at Generation 1 with the pure
Mhm.
Amber,
Mhm.
and I did not hit one Jaguar.
And the good thing about a Jaguar orange soda right now is that it could possibly make that, what's it called, henna. It can make a henna, orange soda, and then it can make that hot rod orange soda that people are going to be looking for.
Ooh, that's awesome. So
Yeah,
you could
so
potentially get Ernie at Generation 2.
no way. No,
Okay, three.
3. No, wait, 4, because I would have to make a henna first at Gen 3, and Gen 4 would be the earliest. Yeah.
Can you mutate from the recessive position?
Uh, no, you can't do a double mutation in one turn. You have to first mutate to henna
Oh, that's right.
in
That's right. It's a
Gen
hot
3.
rod. I was thinking it was a henna.
Yeah, a hot rod would require Gen 4 is the earliest you can make it with it, but it's still pretty high gen for that, or pretty low gen.
Yeah, let me
Nice.
go over and see if
Guys,
anyone's made an Ernie.
guys, someone bought. So I accidentally left a Beermon. So I have a bunch of these, but I have a Beermon. I have a bunch of Beermon Grim Gen 1s.
Okay.
And I guess I had one on sale for 0.03 from back when, before we knew it was Beerman and Grim. And yeah, someone just bought it for 0.03, so I'm kind of sad, but I still have 3 more of this.
Oh, man.
So I guess the idea would be if I can get a Gen 1 orange soda, then I could make a bunch of Gen 2 3 out of 4s, right? Then I could breed that with Witty Kitties Gen 2 Hot Rod, and we can get a Gen 3 Ernie.
Hey, your G3 Onyx Calico is gorgeous, man.
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a super cool cat. I put it up for more than I just put it up for 0.15 because I think it might actually be like a first combo or something at that gen.
Oh yeah, it definitely is a first combo, but it's like beautiful. I really like the lilac with the azalea bush.
Yeah. No, it's a decent. I've been popping on some pretty aesthetically pleasing cats too.
I think we really have to thank the new fancies for that. Whoever is designing them, whoever is coming up with the recipes, thank you, because I would not have 23 cloud white wingtips if it weren't for that. I don't know what the recipe is, but I'm just really happy with all my fails.
Yeah, that's what I didn't like about Fuzzy was that all the breeders were kind of ugly. Like I don't like Alien. It's probably like my least favorite trait in terms of what it looks like. And then yeah, it was just like you're getting short trucks plus Alien. I don't know. They look
Spock,
kind of
yeah.
cool, but like it's kind of weird.
Yeah, they're all really ugly, and there's 144 Fuzi, or I mean 44 Fuzi breeders on the market.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, low gen fuzzies are starting to. I think I saw a Gen 4 sell for 0.4 earlier.
Yeah, what is the
Or maybe
lowest fuzzy breeder you've seen? I know Chuck was giving one away in his giveaway.
The lowest fuzzy breeder.
Like lowest gen or lowest cost?
Yeah, lowest gen.
I hit a Gen 3, which is the lowest foo. I have two Gen 2 breeders,
Oh.
but not for sale. But yeah.
Wow, Gen 3? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
What is the ID so I could bring it up?
1 second.
Oh, I found it. Don't worry.
492909.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. A Generation 3, man. Good job.
Thanks. It was all because of Os's thing he was trying to sell for like 2 months. One day I was just like, okay, I'll just buy it because, yeah.
Hey, Edgardo Moreno, aka Meow Curie, aka the Wonder.
The Wonder.
He's back. So, do we have any questions for him? He says there's another Ernie. I'm not alone now.
What possessed you to go for Hot Rod other than there being 3 traits left that haven't been hit? Why didn't you choose Tiger Punk? Something easier. Why did you choose Hot Rod?
I don't know. I think he's like in and out. Like this. He says because I see Hot Rod too cheap for 0.017 lol, but with orange soda also.
Congrats again, man. That is a great hit, and this is a great price. Like, I'm gonna put this up on the stream because this is the first.
So he sold the first Momo ever. After I told him not to do what he did with the first Nagato.
Yeah.
I felt I wanted to give him some advice too. I wasn't gonna give him the Nagato back because that's how we all learn, but I did want to, make sure that he didn't do that again with the Momo.
Oh, absolutely.
So he put it up for 3 and sold it. He sold it for 3. The Flying Cat, I believe. So.
Yeah, Flying Cat. Wow, 3 Ethereum is a really, 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 really low price for a first.
Well, I mean, but I think it was a 3 is fair. 3 is probably fair.
So,
I don't know. It could be worth a lot more one day. I mean,
all right.
Bryce,
so let's compare it to Ernie. Okay, Ernie's a 4 out of 4, or is a 4 trait fancy. Momo is the first 5 trait fancy. This sold for 3. Ernie's getting listed for 15. I think like 5 traits should be a lot more, but I mean, like, I really think it's a learning experience, and at the time the market couldn't, it couldn't sustain like such a high purchase price. Hopefully in the next 48 hours, like, we'll see a huge change to where you guys could list the first of a fancy in itself for 20 Ethereum. Like, that's my dream. I want to be able to sell cats for a lot. I really don't like selling cats for breeding price. Sometimes I have to do it. But what are your thoughts on that, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't want to speculate. I just want to see what happens in the next couple of days. But yeah, I mean, what I would say is I don't know if necessarily he'll sell that for 15 ETH, in the next couple of days. But
Yeah.
I would advise him to like hold on to that, because you also don't know, like Bryce, right? Like the communications director, I think, for CryptoKitties.
Okay.
I asked him whether, fancies would get family jewels, and he said no, they're not getting family jewels, but they're gonna get something else in the future. And he said I would hodl
wait. They're gonna get something else specifically for them?
Yeah, that's what he told me, and he said I would hodl that cat.
All right, so for
But don't take
anyone
that as
just
advice.
listening right now, what is family jewels? Can you explain that for us?
Yeah, so, well, okay, so I guess like our current understanding of one dimension, at least of the family jewels, is that the first cat to have an attribute, it shows up in the API as position 1 royal blue, for example, right? And basically, we need Kitty Hawk to to come and explain this. But basically, that trait, that first gene, can be passed on, and any descendant of that first royal blue, for example, that has royal blue, I believe will also have family jewels royal blue. It can get complicated because we're still trying to figure out what happens if you what happens if the trait is passed down as a recessive and then gets passed back into the dominant position. Does that still count as a family jewel? Whereas I guess we're still looking into that, I think.
Yeah, we don't know
Does
yet
that make sense?
until
Yeah.
we don't know yet until the update comes out. But as far as I know, like the API shows this new feature, which is enhanced attributes, and you could pull up any of your kitties by going to the API link that I just posted in the chat and putting in the ID. I recommend you just search for enhanced and look down, and if you see something that says position 1, that means that your cat is the descendant of the first of that trait.
Wow, Bierman Orange Soda Grim Gen 3 just sold for 0.2. I was buying those for 0.02 this morning.
Where do you find these recent sales? Are you just refreshing Kitty Explorer?
Yeah, I just refresh Kitty Explorer all day.
Probably have like a dozen of those, so maybe I should start listings.
Is it? But yeah, Gen 3.
No, not Gen 3.
But I think all of those would sell for
Who
decent
has
prices.
Gen 1s? I think I saw Gen 1s on the market or in somebody's wallet.
Gen 1 Bierman Orange Soda?
Yeah.
What? I don't think so, dude, because I searched Gen 1, 2, 3, 4. The ones that, like...
I think there was one Gen 1 Bierman Orange Soda. It sold like for 0.06, I think, before the fancy trait tips were given.
Let's see.
Oh, there are 5 of them, and they are getting bred right now. Derek.
Oh, what? Derek has
Carlini. Them? Oh my gosh, you're playing the game wrong, guys.
Yeah, selling the materials is actually another strategy you guys could do, is just make materials for it and people will buy it because they're trying to make the fancy. So
yeah, one thing I've noticed is Derek and Carlini always have their hands in any big change in the game when it comes to a new fancy coming out, new traits. They're always doing something. And I think Sherry Claire is another person, but is Sherry Claire active right now, Jeff?
I'm not sure. I think I saw her doing some stuff.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, so there are two of the 5 Bierman Orange Soda Gen 1s are being bred.
Yeah.
It's just Gen 1 Orange Soda, Gen 0 Orange Soda floor is so high right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have one, but I don't know if I want to breed it for this.
And another
Orange Soda Bierman with a Grim Recessive. So what price would you guys say to put on it?
What generation?
Orange Soda Bierman with a Grim R1.
I'm not sure about that one.
Virgin.
Hey, Sam wants to know whether he can still come on stream.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Get him in the call.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Sam. I think I need you to accept my friend request. Can't believe we aren't friends yet, Jake. Let me see.
So I just commented in the chat. This is Lucy's kitty. What should she price it at? A Generation 1 sold for 0.2. This is a Generation 3, but it has a Grim R1.
Okay, let me see.
Towards 0.15. I don't know if that's a bit high. What do you guys think?
This has said that there's a really good price on a Gen 2 Bourbon Orange Soda right now with Grim. Let's go take a look at it. If it's low, I'm going to buy it.
Let's go see what the price is on it.
Yeah, let's do a flip for the stream right now. Let's see if I could afford it. And then I'll see if I could Oh, goodness.
Oh, someone bought it. Someone bought that, the second one on the market.
No.
Wait, what did they buy?
I'm going to price my Gen 3, I think, at 0.15, which
Yeah.
might seem a little high, but not really.
No, I sold 2 already at 0.15.
What was the price at for that Gen 2?
1.199. It sold instantly, so that means it's valuated probably like 0.25, 0.3 at least.
Oh my goodness. So Lucy, Lucy, do like a 0.2. Do like a 0.22. Let me look and see what other comparables are on the market right now.
Lucy said she had only 2 traits and then 1 R1, I think. So she doesn't have 3 traits on it.
I do have double Berman.
Yeah, type that in. Pure Berman Grim R1 in the name. That's really valuable. I think you could get away with 0.22, 0.23, 0.24 if you have that in the name.
Okay, guys. I believe we have Somnolence. Somnolence, is that how you say it? I believe he's on the call now. Can you hear us? And is your mic working? He's typing. He says, "Guess the mic don't work." Aw, rip.
So sad.
Yeah, we'll get it working in a bit because we have some exciting news to share. As you know, Carlini bought a Gen 0 founder Jag, or just a founder Jag, in the last couple hours, and it's been bred 5 to 6 times. But Carlini is not the only person taking these risks. So I can't wait to break the news. We'll wait for Somnolence to get on the line, and we'll find out what his plans are with his new founder Jag.
Mm-hmm.
And I failed another breed. So I'm going to sell this cat. Actually, I'm not going to sell it. It has So Serious. I'll just hold on to it.
Guys, so some of the Gen Zeros with the old traits are starting to move now, right? So one thing that I want to talk about is, if the new trait Gen Zeros are starting to get up there at 0.4, 0.4, 5, then all of a sudden the old trait Gen Zeros, the retired trait Gen Zeros start looking like a bargain at, 0.5,
my goodness,
0.6,
yeah.
0.7, right? So those are starting to move right now. That's where I actually focused most of my buying in the last week or so. I think I bought about 10 old trait Gen Zeros, because and I did I just bought that Bobtail, Love Me, Tiger, or whatever. But I think that's been primarily what I've been looking at. So it's interesting.
Can
to
you
see.
give us a trait to look up right now in the Gen 0 discontinued market?
Gen 0 Gold floor, I think, has moved a bunch.
Gold? Yes, that's good.
Okay, so
hey guys.
Oh, Somnolence. How's it going,
Alright,
man? Welcome on the stream. It's
Hey,
Jordan,
thank you.
Poopie. Yeah.
So like I hear you guys talking about the new fancy, and I actually just today got a Gen 2 Brim Orange Soda Bourbon and also a Gen 3 Hot Rod, which I'm really happy about.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, nice,
Um,
dude.
yeah. And I'm also the guy that bought the number 97 founder. Also today, so
Okay. One thing at a time, man. All
Oh
right,
my
let's start with.
gosh. You
Jeez, you're
just
just
threw
gonna
that in there.
destroy the game. Wait.
I
Okay.
did a lot of stuff today.
He's
Like,
making moves.
I just bought a founder too.
All right. Why is your founder still a virgin? That's the biggest question I have for you. And first,
Um,
congratulations on the purchase.
yeah, I joined the Founders Club now.
So,
Well, the main reason why I wanted it to stay a virgin is because of the Asia launch. I wanted to see what is going to happen at least in the near future to decide whether or not I want to breed it. And also another person with a founder spoke with me, and he's like, advised me to not breed it yet.
hmm yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like, I want to see how the market reacts to the Asia launch first, because let's say you were to breed it, you do miss or whatever happens, you might not be able to extract the most value out of your founder as you could by just waiting and seeing how the market reacts.
Yeah, definitely. I also haven't found a good sire for it yet, so I don't know what to breed it with. So
So what do you look for in a sire? Are you looking for like a purebred Amur?
um, I like to follow the advice that you guys gave on stream. Maybe 1 or 2 streams ago, which is to look for a sire with like the most possible mutations.
Oh yeah.
And
That was our stream, yeah.
yeah, and because like orange soda doesn't have like a mutation yet,
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't.
so it's a little bit difficult for me to look for a good one.
I would almost
Uh,
say just
yeah,
hold off on breeding it.
yeah, and mine also have granite gray, which also doesn't have a mutation pair yet. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Do you, like we should sorry, is it okay if I want to ask a few questions here? um, First of all, have we pulled up his founder on KittyCalc?
Oh, no, let's do that. That's a good.
We should probably do that. Awesome. And then yeah, I wanted to ask you, Sam, what kind of drove your thought process? So this is, I guess, like from my standing, like what kind of happened, right? Like I remember you joining Discord, and
Like
you
2 weeks ago, right?
about maybe like 3 weeks ago or something, and I remember you bought a Gen 1 Jag. If my memory serves correctly, it's a Gen 1 Jag with Himalayan salmon and beard. It's actually a really nice cat. And I think you bought that for what, 1.5 ETH?
yeah.
And you started breeding that out, and you've been selling some Gen 2s, I believe. Some Gen 2.
I've been keeping my Gen 2. I got a I sired my Gen 1 Jag with a Gen 1 Chartreuse to get that Maine Coon mutation. So I got one Maine Coon at Gen 2 and one Jaguar at Gen 2, which is all I could do right now because my Gen 1 is catatonic. So I actually kept my Gen 2 and just breed it down to like Gen 3 and 4, and those have been selling pretty well, especially with the Ninja Fancies and and now I guess the Ernie one.
Oh gosh.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, cool. No, I think that makes a lot of sense. So I don't really want to steal your thunder or anything, but you bought you bought your founder from the U.S. Treasury, I believe, right? He
Yeah.
is, I think everyone knows, he's a whale. I think he has over
He is the
20.
whale of whales. He owns
Okay,
almost
guys.
all the founder Jags.
So my heart is kind of racing right now. So I believe he just told me that he wants to jump on the stream.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Wait, who?
The U.S. Treasury, the
Oh,
biggest
no
owner of
way.
founder jags in the game.
Oh
Oh
man,
my
no
god.
way! I just saw his
So,
life show
so if you guys
up.
check, you'll see his icon. Illuminati symbol
Huge.
is on our chat. Okay, awesome, man. So this is JiHoz. We've been talking for a little bit now. Can you hear me, man? Let's see.
Yeah, he just unmuted his mic. Hey, how's it going? I'm Jordan Poopie. I'm a big fan. I've seen like almost all of your founder jags. I'm kind of starstruck right now, and that's a new trait that was just released. I mean, we could go down the list. All right, let's look at kitty number one. Let's see who owns kitty number one.
It's Stimson.
All right, number two. Let's go from there.
Louis just said, "I wonder if the U.S. Treasury is right now." Maybe 10 minutes ago, the bat signal went up. I thought that we might lure him out.
No, I'm
Can you
actually
guys hear
kind
me?
of salty because there was another founder that was also sold today to Carlini. So now there's like more and more competition.
All right, the big question though is, did Carlini pay more than you or less than you?
They paid
I
the
believe
same.
I think we both paid 20, and then U.S. Treasury upped the price to 25 ETH now, I think.
Whew.
Yeah.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can. Welcome on the stream.
Thanks. Is it a little staticky or muffled?
It's perfect.
Okay, good.
Wow, I haven't heard that voice in a long time.
Can you
Yes,
give
I had
me
some
a
time to
founder
chill.
jag that you own so I could pull you up on the stream?
Let me see. Number 19, I think.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for coming on the stream. I'm kind of shocked that JiHoz managed to pull this through. I mean, we have a new founder owner here, Somnolence. We have a new founder owner in the chat, Carlini. And we have one of the most, or how do I even say this? A founder collector, the U.S. Treasury, with 24 founder jags.
Yeah,
Yes.
him and I have been talking for a while, and this was about a week in the making, or at least a couple weeks in the making. I was going to come on next week, but just at some time right now, about 10 or 20 minutes or so, so I figured we should just do it now.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So yeah, I don't want to waste any time. I want to pick your brain, as much as possible. So yeah, I mean, obviously over the last week or so, it looks like things have been picking up, and things are looking potentially pretty interesting for the China launch. So, your cats have started to move. What are your thoughts on the China launch? Do you see, like, what do you see as the kind of, like, the things that we should be looking at to make, to kind of see like where this thing is going? Like, I guess, what are the potential pitfalls, and I guess, like, what would you be looking at for signs of success?
I think the biggest pitfall is going to be how the Ethereum network is going to react to the potential influx of users, especially days, the first week, at least the first couple of days. And if the Ethereum network can't handle it, or if the front end of the website or the application can't handle it, then that might be a big turnoff. And just like the first bull run, it might end very, very quickly.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think so. When we talk to the core team, I guess they basically, I guess, like, we kind of expressed that worry that the network wasn't ready to handle it, and I guess, like, their opinion on that is that they're just gonna they can't kind of just like dawdle and wait for the network to scale like miraculously. They have to keep pushing and trying to get new users and spreading the game. And I think the fact that they're only releasing an iOS app, I believe, for the China launch, and I think that's to kind of limit the number of new users that would kind of get on the game. I think they said that they're targeting, I think, around 50,000 new users.
Oh my goodness,
so yeah, I think we'll see. I think there are around 150,000 registered accounts right now. So it'd be like, obviously, and those people could get re-engaged. So I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. There are 52,000 wallets right now that have more than one kitty, or one kitty or more.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
And,
So
I guess it's all going to depend on how active the user base is. Because if let's say they were as active as some of the players early on, such as myself, I had probably well over 1,000 transactions done in the first 2 days alone, I think, between all my accounts. So if 1,000 people have that kind of record, then that's another million transactions on the network within a few days, and that's fast.
Okay, that makes sense. You don't have to answer
on
this.
the upside, I think that's going to also help Ethereum kind of light a fire under the developers' asses, and just to make everything go a lot smoother down the road.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. What do you see any potential catalysts on the scaling kind of side of things? Like, are there any new improvements to the Ethereum network that are in the pipeline that you've had an eye on, that you've been keeping an eye on?
So, to be completely honest, I haven't kept up as much with the Ethereum market or even the cryptocurrency market in general in the last month or so. I've been focused on launching a real estate company and moving some of the fake internet money profits into some real world assets.
Okay, that makes sense. Last I think last time we spoke, you were pretty bullish on Ethereum. I think that was around like 800. Do you still see that? Do you still see this kind of run continuing, or do you see 1400 as kind of like an interim top for now?
Well, I don't think the 1400 top is going to be the all-time high for too long. I don't know what the catalyst might be, but it seems like around March is when things tend to pick up for Ethereum. But it's a very small sample size to just judge on the last 2 years. I started selling in January around 800 at around $800 all the way up to 1400, and then when it started to pull back, I actually stopped cashing out. So I'm waiting for the prices to go back to at least 1300 before I continue. But even that, I might have maybe cashed out like 7 or 8% of my entire portfolio so far. So I am really bullish on Ethereum being $1,500 to 2,000 way before the end of the year.
Okay, awesome. That's super exciting to hear.
Yeah,
so
we have a question from the chat. Jim McNellis is asking, what is your long-term strategy? When did you buy these founders?
Yeah, we have a question from the chat. I bought these founders, I think, within the first few weeks after the alpha ended. So this was, I believe the alpha ended in November, was it 18th or 28th? I started playing early December, the 3rd or 4th. And then within a week, I saw that after the first cat was sold, and there was a lot of hype around the game. A lot of news sources picked it up. Something like there was maybe 71 out of the 99 founders cats still for sale, and I was thinking about buying a few. And then the next day, not even maybe 8 hours later or 12 hours later, all of a sudden there's only 44 cats left for sale. So I decided to buy them all up, and by the time I transferred all the money and I was putting in the buy orders, I was only at the 44 because 4 got bought up within that time span, within 15, 20 minutes.
So when Axiom released these founder Jags, they started at, was it 10 Ethereum?
10 Ethereum.
Okay.
Yes, and descending. So it was 10 Ethereum descending down to, I guess, 0 Ethereum, and it was over the course of a year.
Whew.
Wow. Okay, awesome.
Yes, and so the first few weeks after that, it was just hectic. initially I put them up for double the price at 20, and before I went to sleep, I already sold I think 3 or 4. So I was kind of scrambling to cancel them and then
Delist
put
them.
them up for higher amounts. And I sold essentially one cat every hour. You know, one was at 40, then 50, then 70, then I think 90, and then it kind of slowed down and then started picking up again when they hit the triple digits.
So is that the strat that you're using right now? Because I see that you have them listed in, you know, an increasing price, 25, 30, 40. Or is that just based on the
Right. So
traits?
I think now, well, initially what I was going to do was just create a floor price that I wouldn't want to sell below, let's say 20 or 25 Ethereum. Initially, I sold the first one for 15 to one of the Asian whales, and then he purchased a few more from other sellers. And then I listed my next couple for 20. Carlini just purchased one. One of the guys that's on the stream right now purchased one yesterday. And then now I want to raise the floor to 25. But essentially, if no one ever buys them for 25, I don't intend on selling them for any cheaper.
Yeah, so right now you're the floor. You are the floor up to 30 Ethereum. That's awesome.
And that's do you stay in contact, or are you in contact with any of the owners of the other founders, so you can kind of like, if they make a mistake on pricing, or you know, you kind of just disagree with them on pricing, like do you reach out to them, or do you have contact with them?
No. So initially, my strategy for selling the founder cats during the December bubble was to buy up all the cats, create a floor price, and then slowly increase it, just like I'm doing now. Where I went wrong with that was the market moved very quickly, and some people started cashing out. So the people that bought from me for 30 Ethereum now wanted to sell the cat back for 70. So I I sold them the cat that I bought for 10. I sold them for 30. I bought it back from them at 70, and then flipped it for, let's say, 140. And that kind of kept going until the network issues caught up finally, and people were just pissed off. And I think that's really what was the final nail in the coffin. And the floor kind of just fell under, because I had my biggest sale of founder number 18 for 254 Ethereum. And I think then within a few weeks after that, there pretty much wasn't a single sale for about a month and a half for my account.
Wow. We have a question from the chat again from Jim McNellis. What is your long-term value projection for founders?
So I think the November deadline is going to be interesting for the Gen Zero market, because we'll either now find out that these Gen Zeros are going to start skyrocketing, and if those go up, then the founders cats along with it have to go up.
Mm-hmm.
Or we'll find out that now that all these cats are sold out and people are selling to each other, and there's no more real surprises in the core contract, unless they figure out a way of implementing third-party contracts, or if they figure out a way of launching some kind of new core contract that can interact with the original core contract and add more depth to the game. We might see a very big bullish market or a very big bearish market, depending on how people take that. It's like when you reach the end game of any game.
Yeah.
People either quit, or people go back and try to unlock everything else.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Well, I guess like the way that I now, all the money that's flowing into the kitty clock is going straight to Axiom, right? Or most of it. Whereas, past November, the current Gen Zero owners, we are gonna be the kitty clock, right? So, I think that dynamic could be super interesting. And I think you bring up a good point. Like, I think, after all the traits are unlocked and, kind of the map is laid out, is that actually when the game starts, or is that, kind of when the game ends, right? Because like, you could look at it both ways. I kind of see it as that's when we know everything, and then that's when we can, basically figure out the rarity of everything, to, I guess, like more in a more precise way potentially.
Right, exactly.
But yeah.
And depending on what kind of features are added or how many fancies are still left, there's still a lot of speculation as to whether we're going to have more tiers of fancies, whether potentially, let's say, it takes 2 fancies to make another fancy, and so on and so forth. Whether generation numbers have anything to do with it, like maybe we might need to unlock the thousandth generation to get to some kind of point. Maybe it's a time release thing where maybe the year after November, the Dragon Kitty might be released. So there's a lot of unknowns.
Yeah, and maybe there could be a fancy of the month. Maybe there could be fancy limited or ID limited fancies. All in all, like, I'm very bullish on the game. I want to see what happens in the next 48 hours. I know for a fact that Axiom Zen has been making steps and big moves towards the right direction. The reason why I know that is because my partner, Alan Falcon, and myself were actually invited by the CEO of Axiom Zen, Rohem, to spend 2 days at the offices last week and just share ideas on how we could make the game better, ideas on how we could build the community, and all in all, it was a great experience. That's my partner right here, Alan Falcon. Alan,
Hello,
take it away.
Everybody. Yeah, and I just want to say, U.S. Treasury, huge fan. Love the way that you think about the game. You have such a long-term viewpoint, and I want to say that I think everything you said is so true. Right? We don't really know what's going to happen in a year, but just from looking at what has happened and the care and thought that's gone into it, that we can just see as players, I expect a lot will happen. I expect, after a year, things aren't going to be settled. I think that there's going to be new things and new reasons to keep playing and collecting and breeding. And I'm very bullish on it. And that's not based on any inside information from our visit. That's just me as a player. I've felt this way for a long time. But I can say, after Jordan and I were able to go up to Vancouver and meet with the team, they are some very, very smart, plugged-in people. They're a small team, so maybe things take a little bit longer than we kind of hope, and we're a little bit impatient as a community. But I think that as Family Jewels are showing, there's a lot of thought gone into how these actually work and how they will play out. And they're leaving it on the community to kind of decide, how we value things. But they're giving us the tools we need. And I think that we're going to have a lot of fun with it. And that's just the first thing to come. And I'm really excited. And and I also just...
I'm gonna let you finish, but no.
Yeah, no. I just want to say huge thanks to Axiom, obviously, and I think just the fact that they were willing to do that and pick our brains about the community, especially, shows that they're really listening. And Jordan and I were heading back home, and people in the community are like, "What's going on?" They're talking to us a lot more now, and I think they really listened, and I think they want to listen, and I think they want to do the best things.
That's awesome, man. It's super exciting. So I think this actually brings us to like an interesting segue, right? It's like, I think we as the community, like we can't rely on Axiom to do everything that we want. Like we need to make it happen ourselves.
Yes.
I think someone has family aggro. So we need to make it happen ourselves, and I think that's a lot of what the stream was about, and I think that's kind of why we created it. I want to make sure that I wanted to ask one more question at least to the U.S. Treasury. So we talked about kind of like the end game, right, and especially like the end game of the contract and the genetics, right? I'm thinking that once that happens, there might be a lot of demand and kind of people clamoring for kind of like applications and games possibly built on top of CryptoKitties. What do you see as the kind of like long-term outlook for these dApps built on CryptoKitties? What do you think will be necessary to have them succeed and thrive and kind of add to the game and increase the value of the kitties and increase the usability of the kitties? What are your kind of thoughts on the dApp outlook, I guess.
So first of all, you guys did bring up a lot of good points. And just to bring it back to the original question, I don't think I answered that fully in terms of if I was more or less bullish on the game. I think even though it can go both ways, I have a better outlook of the game now than I did 3 months ago. Um, and if you recall Louis' stream 3 months ago when he asked me how long do I think the game might last, and I said, well, at least 2 or 3 months, and that was just only going based off of the buying and selling that was going on. Just people just randomly breeding cats, and they stumbled upon a gene, and then it was a mad dash to get to that gene. But I think now we got to a point where we're understanding that the game looks very simple if we take it at face value, but there's already a lot of interesting websites being developed, a lot of interesting people working on projects are looking beyond just this is cat A and cat B and you either sell it or you breed it again, and I think that kind of I guess care is going to bring a lot of attention to these third-party applications, and that's something that is going to keep the game going. So, as far as what I think might be important for the game's future, definitely something similar to a kitty battles, or something similar to not a kitty sync per se, but something where you're essentially where you could lose something in order to gain something,
Yes.
or something where cats could be transferred from one player to another as a sort of gamble. I think the unlimited supply is what partly led to the crash of the market, because people realized that they can keep on purchasing the cheapest cat and then breeding it and selling off the offspring, or selling off the parent, and continue to do so. And that, along with the congested market, definitely killed off the kind of appeal of owning a unique kitty. And I think that if you were to attach some kind of stats to them, or if you're able to um, even more make them more unique, then the game really has a very, very long lifespan.
That's super interesting to hear, and that's really encouraging. I know so I know the community is working on some stuff, and I think we're going to see some pretty exciting stuff come out in the next couple of months in terms of like apps and stuff like that.
Oh geez, the next 2 weeks, Jeff. There's somebody already working on kitty battles right now, and they've been working on it for the past 3 weeks. They're planning on launching in the next 2.
Wait, is it that one that I saw on Reddit earlier?
I'm not sure if it was on Reddit. It's called Kitty Cuddles.
Yeah. I looked at that. We'll see. We'll see what the
Yeah,
reception
we'll
to
see
that
what
is.
happens.
That could be an interesting test. Like I would definitely do things a lot differently than how that guy is approaching it. But I guess that could be an interesting guinea pig.
Yeah, it is a true DApp though, to where you can interact with your kitties completely outside of the game. It does take your kitties like ID and traits and information, but it's an entire game that's built off of just that.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, we'll see.
And I think the interesting thing about Ethereum as a whole is that we have these different ERC 21 tokens, I believe they are, and like before there was a game called Fish Tank?
Fish Bank, yeah.
Fish Bank. So that was one of the, I guess the first kind of interesting things that I noticed, where it wasn't really a crossover, but if you had some kind of Generation 0 item from another game, then essentially that would transfer over into you having a Gen 0 or some kind of item modifier in that game as well. So
it's kind of like a fork, right?
Right. So that was kind of the first time when I really looked at the the market, the gaming market as a whole within Ethereum, and I started to research more about things like Decentraland and CryptoPunks. So I think there's a lot of potential for these tokens to interact with other games, and that in and of itself, if you have CryptoKitty as being the first kind of mainstream leader in that market, it's going to feed off of other dApps, and it's going to at the same time build up other dApps to become more of a valid thing rather than just some of the recent Ponzi schemes that have been coming out.
Oh yeah, actual
Yeah,
games. Now might be a good time to talk about Kitty Hats just for like a minute, JiHoz, because Kitty Hats is built on Ethereum and it does add something to your kitties. You'd be the best person to explain it.
Yeah. So basically, yeah. So I've been working with like an amazing team. Alan or Kitty Hawk is also on it. And basically, we have made these ERC20 tokens that you can attach to the kitties. They're like right now they're accessories, like hats, like shoes, things like that. And yeah, we I guess like limited the quantity. And yeah, I think it's like a really good test run for this idea of mashing an ERC20 token onto the kitties, the ERC721s. And now that we've kind of shown that can be done in a pretty simple way, I think there's a lot of interesting stuff that kind of arises from this project.
Yeah, absolutely. I just gifted a Pommy Please kitty hat to U.S. Treasury's founder Jack number 96.
So yeah, I mean we're actually thinking of making special accessories that we would only gift to owners of founders. Yeah, I guess if you want, we can do that in the future.
I would really appreciate that.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I think that'd be really really good for us. So awesome. That's awesome, man. Do we have any questions from chat, or I feel like I've been hogging a lot of the questions just because I had so many things I wanted to sort of dig into your mind about. But yeah, I guess does anyone else have anything else? That I don't want to take up too much of your time. I remember you said that you had 15, 20 minutes. I think we're
well about that. Yeah.
To that time.
So just to add to something, I think you can compare CryptoKitties to, or represents to the Ethereum blockchain and just blockchain gaming in general, to something like what Bitcoin is to the rest of the world, or what Bitcoin was to us initially when a lot of us started dabbling in these in this field essentially. Initially, when Ethereum launched or when Bitcoin launched, there was a lot of low hanging fruit that people went after. So I wasn't around to really experience that during the Bitcoin era, but during Ethereum 2.5 years ago, maybe for a solid 6 months, there was just a lot of people making very, very simple applications like Ethereum lotteries, or I think even back then there was just an openly known contract that it was an Ethereum Ponzi scheme, and it was supposed to pay up the person that got into it initially. So, and I think that's what we're going through with the gaming market right now, where people are CryptoKitty copycats, or they're going for these Ponzi scheme games because they know that they can get a user base very, very quickly, because the first 100 or 200 people are going to get paid out. So there's always going to be a mad dash and some kind of money to be made for the developers. And then, but as the time goes on, people are going to stop falling for that kind of stuff, and they're going to seek out actual games.
Yeah.
So something like CryptoPunks has a lot more value than something like Ethermon did in its early stage. Even though now I know they updated the contract, and there was a lot of drama about that, but just something new, something different, and something that people can get value out of and have long-term play, rather than just buying and hoping everyone else buys it. And that's something that CryptoKitties has. And their development team initially started off, I guess, maybe on the wrong foot. they weren't prepared for the success, for the overnight success that they've had, and they didn't have the infrastructure in place to really facilitate comments and questions and concerns, and people weren't as active in the Discord. But they also are very prudent about making big changes as Ethereum and Bitcoin are to their protocol, because there are people now that are starting to dedicate a lot of their time to building a framework around CryptoKitties, and for the founders to, let's say, all of a sudden implement a kitty sync because 5% of the population wanted to, but it might ruin the gameplay for the other 95%, or any other, very, very extreme feature. I think using it the right way, where they're doing it slowly, and just building the marketing behind it and getting more of a user base to get a bigger sample size, rather than just cater to a few loud individuals.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, and I think their kind of reasoning between not implementing sync yet is, I think it would be very difficult. I think they believe that it would require redeploying the contract, and they also, I think, make the point that there might actually, like, if the launch plans that they have, if they actually kind of go according to plan, there is potentially not enough. There are not enough cats to kind of meet that potential demand in their eyes. So we were looking at the number of Gen 1s for sale, I think like a week or two ago, and I don't remember what that number was, but we did some calculations, and it's potentially not enough to meet a kind of like a lukewarm scenario of the Asia launch. So I think. I would say that there's probably not enough data to implement a sync yet. And if it looks like something that really needs to be done in the future, I think the way that it will come about is through a kind of like a community, maybe a DApp built by some dev team, and a really good idea that gets a really positive response from the community, and then gets like formal backing from Axiom.
Right. I think you can equate that very loosely to how Ethereum was initially, when it came out that they had about 5 times the supply of Bitcoin, and they had an unlimited cap, and they were growing at a 10 to 15% rate every year, inflation rate every year. And people thought that, well, if Ethereum is at $5 or if Ethereum is at $10, and miners are making or essentially minting X amount of coins every day, we would need this many $1 million to be infused into the market for the price of it to go up. And then all of a sudden, when the big players started to get into the game, there apparently wasn't enough Ethereum to go around, and the price just shot up 30-fold in a very, very short amount of time. So I think we don't know where the game is heading towards, because we just are very short-sighted on some of the stuff, and we don't know exactly what Axiom is planning. Maybe tomorrow they're going to have a billboard in Times Square or something like that, just something ridiculous, and all of a sudden the user base doubles overnight, and the whole kitty sync thing is irrelevant. Yeah,
I think that makes a lot of sense. And what I was thinking is that the way that the market is moving, just based on 5 new whales coming in, like, it looks like it's the market cap of the entire game is actually, not that large. And, if we actually did see some, dare I say, institutional money coming into these cats, then, we're in a whole different ball game. And I had someone who was at a banking tech conference today, and one of the bulge bracket banks, and apparently they, mentioned CryptoKitties at this crypto panel, and that was actually stealing all the attention away from Jack Dorsey, who was also there. So yeah, I don't know. I think we're going to see. I think this might be an interesting year for the crypto market, in that we might start to see institutional buyers coming in, and hope maybe this most recent price drop gives them an ideal entry point. And that's something I talked about early on the stream. Maybe they created that entry point for themselves.
Right. I definitely agree that there's just going to be at least a few big institutional whales trying to dabble in this market and kind of just ride the coattail of CryptoKitties' success just to see what might happen. Because, in a large scheme of things, in a grand scheme of things, maybe $1 million to CryptoKitties, to the ecosystem of CryptoKitties is a lot, but to someone like let's say a Merrill Lynch or just like a JP Morgan, $1 million is an accounting error, and for them to be able to put 1 million or 10 million into something, and for it to even generate a few different news stories from Fortune magazine might be worth it just to mess around.
Yeah, I think that's a really great point, right? There's a whole social media marketing virality kind of value to being associated with CryptoKitties.
Yes.
That I think we're going to start seeing more of. For example, even when OP Skins made that bot, everyone all of a sudden knew about OP Skins, right? So I was thinking, one idea that I sent to the Axiom team was, every one of us gets an email every time, someone sires or buys one of our kitties. What if, those started becoming sponsored emails from, different companies and stuff like that? And that provides like a whole new source of capital that could, then be redirected towards the user base in some way.
Right. So it's your guess as to where the game is going to be a year from now. I mean, we're really 3 or 4 months into it, and I don't think that any of us could have predicted 3 months ago where the game would be today.
Yeah, absolutely. And we really have to just speculate and, contribute our ideas to how we could see this game grow. Because at the end of the day, we're all players, and we all have cats that we're breeding. We all have cats that we're selling. And if the game grows, we're gonna do better. I really want to thank you for coming on the stream, U.S. Treasury. I want to thank you as well, Somnolence. Really appreciate your insight, and we really appreciate you taking the time to answer these questions from our viewers. Before we go, Lucy, Chuck, Jeff, did you have any last questions?
No, nothing. I recorded your original stream with the U.S. Treasury with Louis, and it's probably my best stream of all time. So hopefully I can make a copy of this one. You might have seen it on YouTube or whatever. So
yes, I did.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm just very thankful for you guys that really have the ETH to be able to support this game in this fashion. So thank you so much.
Yeah, and
everyone on the fancy chasing. A lot of good breeders on the market now. So got all those earnings.
Speaking of earnings,
and
what do you guys?
Yeah, go ahead.
My question is not as important.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So yeah, I guess like do you have any I guess like final parting words of wisdom till I guess
please
your next appearance from the depths?
Not really. I guess I said everything that was on my mind. I was gonna bring up the whole interview thing that JiHoz and I talked about. Essentially, I guess once I come to a point where I feel like the market starts to pick up again, there have been some people reaching out to ask for an opinion piece for a news story, and I've been kind of holding off on it because I don't want to create a kind of speculative bubble that we had initially, where someone did an interview about something about them making
$200,000
six-figure amount,
yeah.
right? And that was more than their 401k, and then people started to rush into it, and a lot of people got pissed off because they weren't making $200,000. So I'm still debating on whether or not I am gonna go through that. But if I do, I think that's gonna bring in a lot more attention from people that are willing to dabble in cryptocurrencies and might see CryptoKitties as a kind of an easier, as a low entry barrier.
Yeah, yeah,
So
and
that's just something that
I completely agree with you. As small as our platform is right now, like we have the power to influence, and we need to use that responsibly. What I don't like is seeing YouTube search results or articles talking about how somebody got rich off of selling 5 cats and CryptoKitties, because that brings users into the game that we really are going to disappoint, because it is a game at the end of the day. Some people do use it as an investment vehicle, but at the end of the day, it is a game, and most people aren't going to make those returns that they're reading about. For every buy, there's somebody that has to sell, and not everybody could be a winner in this game. But we try to do our best to educate our viewers and the community on just how to make better decisions. So just to wrap things off, like I really appreciate you coming on the stream, U.S. Treasury, and also you, Somnolence. Jeff, did you have any last words?
Yeah, I think I got in all of my questions, which is amazing because I always have so many questions. So yeah, I just want to thank you again, Treasury, for hopping on the call. Yeah, I think it was a streamer's dream come true for a lot of us. And yeah, I think we're at a really exciting inflection point for the game, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. And yeah, I hope that you sell as many founders as you want over the next or the next couple of weeks or so.
I appreciate that. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. Thanks for having me. Good luck with the breeding, and I actually will try to come on the stream potentially sometime next week or maybe the week after. It's gonna get it's gonna get very hectic for myself and my partners in our new venture, but usually I'm free at nights around this time. So if you guys are streaming, let me know, and we can collab again.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thank you everybody for watching. We're gonna wrap the stream up for the night. Please don't forget.
I have some stuff to say because we haven't even been able to talk about the market.
Oh, what happened?
While this call is happening. Like, are you guys watching this? So Gen Zero Simric just sold for 1.3.
And I sold the salmon for 0.59. And
that might.
Sorry, what?
No, that might be really cheap, actually.
Yeah, I actually tried to take it off the market earlier this morning, and I thought it went through, but it didn't. I literally was pulling all my Gen Zero.
Was it a fast or what?
Yeah, it was fast. I didn't mean to.
I didn't mean to sell it. 0.3 yesterday. So
wait, I sold 2 or 3 cats during the stream. I just don't want them to be rare. Please no. Please no.
Dude, the 3 out of 4s, Gen 4 and 5, I sold 2 for 0.2. So it's like people value
the combos
a lot at the beginning. So even though you're missing and chasing fancies, your misses can still profit.
Yeah, I was worried that my Nagato breeders wouldn't sell, but those actually sell much easier than Nagatos. Does that make sense? So right now, what I do is I just sire out all the ninjas that I hit, and I sell the breeders. And I think that's a pretty interesting strategy, and I think people will do well doing something like that, something similar like that with Ernie.
I was actually really mad because last night I fell asleep and a gold Simric Gen Zero appeared on the market for 0.19 and I missed it. I was so pissed.
Oh my goodness!
I was so mad.
That would have been like a 1 Ethereum profit.
Yeah, like easy. Yeah. Maybe 0.5 you could sell it immediately, but 1 ETH I'm estimating that instantly almost.
Gold Simric starts at 2.5 at Gen Zero.
My God.
So take back everything I said. That would have been a 2 Ethereum profit. I'm sorry, Chuck.
Yeah, we just had another Simric Googly sell for 1.2, 92,826. Yeah, guys, this is looking like I don't know. Like we were talking about the old trait Gen Zeros, and then I think some people kind of saw similar value in them.
Yeah, so in case anyone is following along with the stream and confused about the sell date and time, this is in UTC time. So UTC time right now is 7:21 a.m. So that means this cat just sold right now.
And honestly, kind of like what they were saying, the U.S. Treasury is alluding, and I think also JiHoz is alluding. The Gen Zero wall, I honestly believe it's gonna probably hit that 1 ETH mark again, for a short time maybe, but it looks like it's going there.
I agree. We're at 0.3 right now, and these are all catatonics. That mean I did not see these cats an hour ago. So somebody just decided to list them in the last 15, 30, 45 minutes. That's going to push up the floor because everybody that has a faster cooldown cat is not going to list it for 0.3. An hour ago, 0.3 Swifts or Snappies were being listed, and now those cats are at 0.32. So I do agree with you, Chuck.
Because like I listed my salmon at like almost 1 ETH, and I'm happy that the lower ones are selling right now because that's pushing the wall up to the only ones that remain are like 1 ETH ones and higher.
You guys notice all the fancies being bought by these different Chinese accounts?
Ooh, that's
Like
something great to
the
talk on.
wall, the wall for these duck cats has gone from like 0.01 to like now seems 0.03, and these are like really low gen. I mean, this is the easiest fancy to get, right? With 2 traits,
Yes.
and yeah, even like Gen 17, 15, whatever, they're selling for like 0.03 ETH.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to delist all my duck cats right now. Let me pull it up right now on the stream. Fancy, I'd have to click through Decat. What other fancies have you seen, Somnolence, that have been going up?
Basically all the different fancies that are under like, a certain amount, like 0.05, I want to say, have been being bought.
Yeah, I mean, so what I see is I think someone has a program just to buy any fancy that's at 0.03 right now.
Definitely. And
Right? Because I'm seeing Santa 0.03, Gerbil 0.03, Dracula 0.03, Ducket 0.03, Ducket 0.03. Those are all consecutive transactions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So someone is just buying the floor on these things, and
So just list every fancy at 0.03.
I mean,
and it's
looks
not
like you can get it that, yeah.
And it's not just like the same person. It's like 2, 3, 4 different people, different accounts at least.
Different accounts, right? Yeah. Super
You know what
interesting.
that is, though, right? Like, I remember reading in Jody's article about the possibility of like there being a certain time limit for fancies being able to be created. Though I don't think it works exactly like Jody was suggesting. I just think in general, because the supply of traits is going to be retired, fancies will become harder to make because it's going to be harder finding the materials that are perfect for it over time.
What if there are more ducats out there, right? Like, like
There's
how
7,000 or
Nagato,
8,000 ducats in the game.
No, I know, but like what I'm saying is right now there's Nagato, and then you can use Nagato basically to breed a Momo, right? What if there are other ducks, like tier 2 duck, tier 3 duck, tier 4 ultra duck, right? Daffy duck. Like,
oh, interesting.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Like
what if there's another duck out there that requires Simrit or whatever it's like what tongue and Simric plus like something else, so I don't know, that's just
like
my
you're saying just their base form or whatever.
Yeah, no, or their base genes.
This is only my this isn't even my final form.
No, absolutely. Like, okay, tongue and Simric is ducat, right? Those are just 2 genes.
Yeah.
What if there's a fancy that it's a 6-trait, 7-trait fancy that needs tongue and Simric? One of your cats is going to be a ducat.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, that would be a really smart way to design it, and from what I've observed with Axiom, like they usually do the smart thing. So
yeah, I mean, since I've started playing the game, I don't think I've seen. I don't think they've made a decision that I didn't like yet. Yeah, like even from the way they interact with the players, it's been really good.
I think the only bad thing I ever heard was an article that was suggesting or putting the idea that the developers only intended the cats to be a certain price. And I think that was completely miscued and caused like a indirect effect on the market a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that they don't have control over what some of the journalists write. I know that one of the really, really famous articles, I think it was in New York Times, that wasn't what they intended for the title to be. And let me just see if I can pull it up.
Ooh, guys, cat number 2166666 has just been sold for like 0.13 ETH.
66666.
And the same account owns another cat that's got like 5 sixes in a row.
How much did that sell for?
0.13 ETH.
Wow, that's a good price. Gosh, vanity numbers. I mean, we'll touch this in the next stream. I keep saying this, but the only hint I'll give you is that the number needs to mean something. There has to be a meaning. And if it's in threes or mores, that's good. But the only numbers that you want in threes or mores are 8s, 9s, 3s, 6s. You kind of want to stay away from 4s. Everything I'm talking about is related to Chinese numerology, because that's something that I've probably spent 30 hours researching. But I'm still like I'm still scratching the surface on it. But if you did do a search right now in the market for recent sales for vanity numbers, you're going to find a lot of really expensive sales in the last 24 hours. And they all involve 6s, they all involve 8s, they all involve 3s.
Wow. Hey, so I was checking through chat just to make sure we didn't miss anything in the craziness. And Louis says, our boy, Bitcoin Louis, says, did you guys see the Digix blog recently? They posted the Louis fan page, and even more important, they hinted at a collaboration. Nothing confirmed, but he says, please review the hint at the bottom of this blog under the CryptoKitty meetup. Does Poopie, can you pull up that link that he posted?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking for it right now. Digix blog? The Medium. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Digix dev update February 13th. Oh, what? Oh my goodness. Shout outs to my friend Bitcoin Louis in the chat. Where do I look? All I see is Benny Jang right now from Axiom Zen holding a sign with your name on it, bro. That's awesome. Where do I look? All I see is Benny Jang right now from Axiom Zen holding a sign with your name on it, bro. That's awesome. Can you help me out, Jeff? Am I looking for a hint for something?
He said it's at the bottom of the page or something. Talking about a meetup. I just had a siren, guys. What is it?
Oh, I see it. Digix and CryptoKitties. Perhaps something can be done together in the future. Interesting. Yeah, okay. Does anyone want to talk about any other things that happened? Or because if not, we'll just wrap up the stream.
I'm kind of just speechless from the U.S. Treasury.
Yeah.
That was intense, and it seems like he wants to come on again. It seems like he called it a collaboration rather.
Yeah.
Making our dreams come
How
true.
awesome
So
was that we have Somnolence, the buyer of founder number 97, come on and
dude, I
answer some
used
questions, and then immediately after we have the person that sold him the cat, U.S. Treasury, come on.
I was trying to once we had some on, I kind of thought that if we said the right things to him, if he was watching, then we might be able to get him to hop on. So
Yeah, that was a
it's
great
awesome.
segue. Good job with that, JiHoz. I really that was next level.
All we need is Carlini now, the other Gen Zero holder.
Carlini's not allowed on stream. Dude, Carlini. Oh yeah, what is Carlini doing right now? I bet he was on stream yesterday, but today I bet he's just breeding. Like he's just like mashing cats.
Mashing the breed button.
Yeah, he's going crazy with his new Jag.
So which one did he buy again? 90 something or?
I think it was 96. Wait, no.
No, I think it's like.
The funny thing about Carlini is he says a lot of stuff, but then he buys the Gen Zero Jaguar.
Oh.
I feel like he says it so people don't buy it. And then he buys it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was trying to de-hype, dude. He was trying to de-hype.
Maybe Carlini is a kitty secretly, and he's just been copy pasting what he says.
He's buying all the Gen Zeros.
Yeah, so this is an inside joke, guys. Carlini is one of the best players in the game. Hasn't been active much lately, but I think Carlini moved like a couple hundred cats. Anyways, Carlini hasn't been active much lately, but the inside joke is that we've always seen Carlini in Discord just saying certain things about the game that will get people to not want to buy the Gen Zeros, but secretly Carlini has been buying the Gen Zeros. But yeah, we all have our strategies.
It looks like Carlini's gone, just that a kitty comes in conveniently right after.
Exactly. And have you noticed Carlini's wallet is like 400 kitties short? Last I checked, it was like 750 cats in here.
Nah, I think he was hovering around 300.
Really?
Yeah.
He downsized.
Because he flash sold like a bunch of them too.
Oh, okay. And the inactivity in the breeding too. That's what I assume. Okay. Yeah. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We're gonna wrap this stream up. I'm Poopie, also known as Jordan. Joining with me here today by JiHoz, Jeff. We have Witty Kitty. We have Somnolence. We have Lucy, and we have Chuck Fresco.
Yep.
I just realized I didn't say my name. My name is Seth.
Yeah,
Seth?
nice.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
Nice, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be checking out your Jaguar, what it does in the future.
Yeah.
I wanted to do great things for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe next stream we could talk about like what your plans are once we've seen how the market has changed from the Asia launch.
Yeah, totally.
I'm super excited.
Yeah, that would be an awesome follow-up stream to where we could see Seth saying that he's just gonna wait and see what happens, and then we could ask him, all right, so what are you gonna do now? The market's either picked up or the market's either crashed. What are you gonna do? Yeah, everybody, thank you so much for following along and watching our stream. Please subscribe and check out our links below. We're going to be streaming either tomorrow or the next day around the same time, but the best way to find out about the stream is by following us on Twitter. Follow Jeff, follow Chuck, follow Lucy, follow me, because follow Witty Kitty as well, because we always post about the stream an hour or 30 minutes before. And until next time, thank you for watching and have a great night or morning. Bye.
Wait, guys. Sorry. I just want to say, I think Dragon Lion bought an Ernie. Right? Do you guys see that?
No, I don't see it right now.
Is it the first Ernie?
It's the third Ernie. It's in Dragon Lion's wallet. I assume that he didn't breed it.
Yeah.
The price.
Someone's reading it. He's reading it.
Yeah. He's breeding it right now. I wonder what he bred it with. It's probably like a fuzzy.
Maybe.
Yeah, he bought the one that someone put like 0.4 real quick. So
that market is multiplying quick. We got Derek here putting his prices down real low. I literally picked up one of his just because it was so low and it was a Gen 4 Swift.
Nice. Continue
my Ernie hunt for tomorrow.
Yeah, shout out to our friend FYM. He bred the fourth Ernie ever. Good job, man. Thank you for contributing to the last stream. Really appreciate it, and congrats on that Ernie breed. Yeah, to wrap it up, guys, just follow us and we'll let you know when the next stream is. Thank you so much for watching and have a great night. Bye.